the heck is a softbox? Well, in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly that and other ways that you can get soft light without a softbox and what the difference is between a hard and soft light. So let's get right into it. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off with what the difference is between a hard and a soft light so that you can understand what a hard light is and why you would even need a soft light. So I'm actually using a soft light to film this video right now. So let me just turn on a hard light real quick so that you can just see the difference, then I'll explain a bit more. Okay, now I am filming with a hard light, and as you can see, this doesn't look very good. That's one of the reasons why you'd want a soft light. It is just a bit more flattering, and it's a lot easier to look at, and it's not blinding you. And the light I'm using right now is a 40-watt cop light, and it's at 1%. And as you can see, it is insanely bright, and it's just burning my eyes. So while I explain, I'm gonna turn this one off. Okay, so that was what a hard light is. So why is a hard light hard? Well, basically, a hard light is harder because it is more direct, so it's giving less chance for the light to spread out, and all of the light is going right there. So the main thing that a softbox does is it is spreading out the light so that less light technically is hitting you, making it a bit softer. But it's also passing through another medium, so it's not just the light to you, but it's also passing through something, also making the hardness part of the light softer. Thus the soft box, because it's making the light soft. But there are plenty of different types of softboxes. So the main types of softboxes are a parabolic softbox and a lantern softbox. Those are the two main different types of softboxes you could get. And the parabolic softbox is similar to what I'm using right now. And it is just a softbox for my GVM panel light. So it's not exactly that, but it would work in a very similar way. So a parabolic softbox, it would be more direct in directing the light, but it's not like a hard light on how direct it is because it is passing through another medium and it is spreading out the light because the inside is reflecting it all over the place. So instead of it going just towards me like that hard light was a little bit ago, it is spreading out the light by reflecting it in a whole bunch of different areas. Those are really good for when you just want a nice soft but sort of direct light. And then there's also the other type of softbox called a lantern. So a lantern will actually produce a bit of a softer light, and the reason for that is it is spreading the light pretty much everywhere. And what I mean by that is it is spreading the lights all around, making it an even softer light because of how much it's spreading, but the light isn't very direct, so it's going to be lighting up the whole room. So if you want a nice direct but soft light, go with a parabolic softbox or something along those lines, as that's just the main version of that type of softbox that you would probably find. And if you want a nice soft light, but you also need to light up a big area or light up multiple people at once, maybe go with the lantern softbox. And depending either one of those two kinds of softboxes you would get, the bigger it is, the softer the light. And that's going back to what we said earlier. It is spreading out the light. The bigger it is, the more room there is to spread the light. So it's going to be a softer light on you. And same thing goes with the lantern, parabolic, any softbox. The bigger the softbox is, the softer the light is. But sometimes you don't have room for a super big softbox, so you just have a smaller one, sort of like what I'm using right now, and it's still a soft light. But if you do have a smaller softbox and you don't have a super big one to get that super soft light, something that you can do to help get the softest light as possible is just get the light as close to you as possible. So my light right now is about one of my arm's length away, and it's just out of frame. That's about as close as I can get it while it's still being out of frame so it's not distracting in the shot. But that's something you can do if you don't have a very big space like me and you just need a softer light, but you don't have a room for a super big softbox, because not everyone can fit something that big in the space that they're using. And something that is completely opposite of that is the farther away you have your softbox, the less soft the light will get, because as light is coming towards you, there's more time for it to narrow down into a more direct light, like a hard light. It's super direct, making it that hard and not nice to look at. But some people might be saying,
oh, it has a softbox, so it's going to be a soft light.
And sure, it is going to be a much softer light than an actual hard light with no diffusion at all. And that's what it's called, diffusion. Now, I'm not a super scientist or anything like that, so I can't explain exactly, but that's pretty much how it works. After all of this, what if you can't even get a softbox at all? So let me show you a few different ways that you can soften up light if you don't either have the budget for a softbox or you just don't have very much room to do it at all. The second one is a very cheap option, so stick around for that one. Okay, so the very first thing that you can do to transform your hard light into a soft light is by bouncing it off of a wall. And what this will do is it's bouncing off of the wall, hitting that surface and reflecting off of it. So most of that hardness of the light is getting dissipated when it hits the wall and bouncing off. And the wall, the light's going all along the wall, so it's going to spread the light like a lantern softbox, and it's going to be softening it the exact same that would be softening a light. So I'm going to turn this light so it's bouncing off of the wall, showing you how that would work. So as you can see, now the light is bouncing off of the wall, and I don't have a wall right next to me right here, so the angle it's at doesn't look great, but as you can see, it's a much softer light now than it was as a hard light, because the wall is spreading it out. And like I said, how it's gonna work like a lantern softbox, it is spreading the light all around the room, brightening up the entire space. But if your camera doesn't have super good ISO performance, or you just like a brighter scene, you can do this and it will brighten up the whole area. But let me turn on my other light right here and show you one other way that you can bounce this light off to brighten up a scene. So now I have my other light on, but I also have that light over there on, bouncing off of the ceiling. And this is doing the exact same thing as bouncing off the wall. It's hitting the ceiling, spreading out the light, making it soft, and brightening up the entire room. Let me show you the last way you can make a soft light for a super cheap price. So let me get the thing that you're gonna use.
Ooh, gosh.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna use. You're just gonna use regular sheets that you would like put on a bed or something, and you'll probably have one of these laying around somewhere, or you can get them very cheap at a store. And this is a perfect way to soften up a light by making the light hit the sheet and it goes through it, and this is acting as that second median of it passing through to soften up the light as a softbox would do. And as you can tell, this is very big, and that's what we talked about earlier. The bigger the source, the softer the light. So if your room is big enough to put out that entire thing, that you can put the light that you're shining through the sheet far away, and this is going to spread the lights very far because of how big the sheet is. That is the entire area that it's going to be softening and spreading the light. So let me go ahead and put this in front of the light to show you how it can really soften up the light. now I have my 40 watt cob light shining through that just regular bed sheet. But as you can see, it really softens up the light for a very cheap price. But it's not as convenient as a softbox at all. But if you really don't have a very big budget, or you have a bigger room to do it, this is a great option to just soften up the lights, but also getting a super big source because of how big a sheet would be. So if you like this video, go ahead and check out this video next, and I think you'll like it.
Got check notes.